This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, and welcome to Navigating the Now. I'm Suze Casey, the developer of the Belief Repatterning technique, and I have with me today Mary. Mary Gale is one of our practitioners. She has been in the Belief Repatterning community for a couple of years, and I'm so thrilled to have you join me today, Mary.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here talking to you.
So can you share your Belief Repatterning story a bit with the folks that are listening, just maybe what brought you to it or what things that have happened for you, or it's your turn. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, belief repatterning was something a friend and healer directed me towards. And I think I was on board pretty quick. So it was 2017, January, usually what, first, second, or third weekend when you have Belief Your Switch Live, or Flip Your Switch Live. And I was looking for something. Well, I really like personal growth, so it sounded like a really cool program. And when I was there in the audience, I just was so amazed at this technique that was so available. So once I got the idea that there's the 7 steps, and I didn't have to. I was writing them down, and then realized they were in the pocketful that we had already. And yeah, so it was. I knew I was going to do it. I knew that definitely Way of Being, the year-long program, was something I wanted to do. I had an inkling I wanted to go towards practitioner, and at the same time, stuff was happening in my life, so I was imminently going to be donating a kidney to my sister, and my husband was going through some health issues, so and I surprised myself by first I was going to wait to join in it, and you suggested that I might find it actually very supportive. And so I did eventually start before the surgery, and I haven't looked back since. And it's sometimes hard to describe the effect of this program, because it does become part of who you are, became part of who I am quite easily. And the way that it changes your inner voice, like the way that my inner coach came on so strong from an old pattern. And I know many people have this pattern of the very critical inner critic. It's amazing. And I had a real habit of inner conversation. Like I would have pretend conversations with people in my head. And of course they were very dramatic. and then not have the kind of conversations that I needed to have with the real people. And so this has really enabled me to move out of that habit and be authentic and be clear and understand myself first, and then that helps me understand other people and how to communicate. And now when I start getting those kind of things, like I just say, wow, that's really interesting story. Or, oh, wow, that's really dramatic.
You have some tools that you can move yourself through, and then have continued on to study, so that you're now helping other people who may be in that overwhelmed, lots of chatter going on, rehearsing things a billion times, blowing things up into all kinds of different ways. And you can go crazy trying to figure out why you're doing it, or we can just like literally flip the switch. And like you say, your inner coach is just showing up, and it's not a fake kind of I'm fabulous. But it's rather, you can do this. You got this. You know how to do this. You've got this tool. Or like you've got that. It's literally a coach. It's not a cheerleader. It's a coach that's in there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very encouraging, very sensible, very, like, that's interesting. And anyway,
Cool story now. Yeah. Well, and speaking of that's interesting, and now, as humankind, we've gone through this COVID journey, and someone said at the beginning, "Oh, we're all in the same boat," and I'm like, "No, we're not in the same boat. We're in the same storm." And some people are in like a little rowboat that's got holes in it, and some people are in like an awesome yacht that's got all the comforts of home, and then most people are somewhere in between. But I'm sure that you've had some situations, some gifts that you look back and you go, this is a gift I got from COVID, and maybe talk about sort of how you overcame a challenge, because usually those gifts came from the challenges.
mhm. Yeah, with COVID, because well, I'm 61, my husband's 65, so we're home a lot anyway. I mean, other than hoping to travel, but of course we can do that later. I really, really felt how we need each other so much. Like in our cultures, we pretend that we don't. And yeah, that we are in this together kind of thing. Your picture resonates with me because I actually had that same kind of picture thinking about my husband, and like I felt like I was on a bigger boat and he was on a little boat, and I was trying to get him or trying to save him, or all the different things and of course I can't save anybody, but I can certainly support people. And it's just really clarified that we are community, we need community, and it's made me even more grateful for all the good things in my life, all the challenges that I've learned from. Yeah, it's just strengthened that so much, and to move from, like, being patient is great, and recently I've learned that moving towards peaceful is the next step.
Nice.
And yeah, being okay with, I've got I've got my opinions, and sometimes I'm pretty strong about them, and knowing that I don't have to convert anybody, or people. We're all where we're at, so I'm here to support you. That's my
Nice.
job. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you to I know that you've got all kinds of ways that you support people, but I'm going to ask you to share one of your favorite try this ons. Try this little habit. It'll help you out. But before I ask you that, I just wanted to plant a seed for those people who are listening in, is that if you've got questions for Mary, please either pop them into the chat box or turn your microphone on, and I will come to you. We're really happy to answer questions. Mary's here to answer them. And while we're waiting for those questions to come, Mary, can you share a try it on practice? I will be right back. I just realized there's a piece of paper I need that's over there. So you can share that try it on practice. I'll be right back.
Okay. If there's, or when there is, something you want to transform, if there's feelings that you're wanting to move away from, move towards something else more positive, one of the ways I've learned from the shamanic studies I've done is to connect with the natural world. And quite literally, you can take a stone or a piece of paper, or a stick of wood, and connect with the feeling that you're having, that you're wanting to change, and to blow that feeling into that object, and then place it either on the earth or in the water, or if it's something it can burn and you want to burn it, you can do that. And because that is transformational, and that's asking the natural world to help you, or, you know, whatever it is, it could just be symbolic or it can be literal, to transform it into where you're wanting to go.
Beautiful. Lovely practice and so simple. So simple. And that's what I find is that the simplest are always like so profound. So profound. Nice. Thank you for that. Any questions, comments, curiosities for Mary from the people who are listening right now? I'm going to ask one to just start the ball rolling, and that is, you mentioned from your shamanic training. So you have some shamanic training that you bring and combine with the repatterning work. Do you want to speak about that just a bit, please?
Yeah. I think of when I do sessions, I think of it as that it's sacred space, that it's a safe and sacred. Repatterning is a space to do that, to do this transformational work in, firstly, energetically. So, and the intention setting is a huge part of the shamanistic as well. And when I'm doing repatterning with someone or with myself, I often use that same transformational idea, but just in the permission statement. Often it's like I give myself permission to change ick into, you know, whatever the up is, and like to have a metaphor. So like ask the client to picture that ick burning up, or, you know, transforming into vapor or something like that. So to have that visualization of that transformation, I also put into the repatterning.
Nice, nice. So I see that we've got a question. Go ahead, Virial. Pop your mic on or type it in, whichever is easier.
I was just typing in, but I'm here. So, Mary, I love your example and your analogy of blowing it into the earth. I would love if you could deepen that. Can you give me an actual example of something that you maybe blew into the earth and what you noticed as a transformation later, just to maybe give something concrete to attach that beautiful example to, so I can deepen my understanding?
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to. I know I've had occasions where I can't think of the exact thing, but an emotion that I was having trouble moving away from, just having trouble.
One that pretty much everybody right now is experiencing some form of frustration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's use a real example, and can you walk it through it? It's a great question, Vero, and let's do something real.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So if I'm feeling frustration because of my strong opinions, and so being frustrated from, you know, feeling like other people, whatever other people, we're near a body of water. There's a stream near our house, so I can go pick up a rock, a little stone, connect with the stone, then connect with that feeling of frustration, and then literally blow that into the stone. Like really think about this. I'm blowing that feeling into the stone. Yeah, really strong. And then I'll say to the water, you know, I'll throw the stone in and ask that the water transform that energy. And you know, have gratitude toward the stone, the water, the process, and myself for doing that. And then the intent is to leave that feeling, like let it go. And so it's easier to let it go because I've just actually literally thrown it away. And then I either right away or shortly after, I start to feel greater peace around it. Like it's just not an issue anymore. And then having the word that I'm working towards also to step into, because you know there's going to be like a vacuum there, I guess. So yeah, to have something to put in its place helps cement that.
Beautiful, beautiful. I noticed when I was just visualizing as you're
Love
doing, I blew, and it was like, and then I blew again, and then it was like there was some more that came that I didn't even realize was there. So that our breath is so powerful, so powerful.
Yeah, 3 times. I forgot to say that, like at least 3 times of breath.
Okay,
Thanks,
Vera,
Mario.
did that answer your question, or did you have another addition on that, Mario?
Perfect. That solidified it. Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Love that example.
Perfect.
Great.
So Mary, you're based in Calgary, but all of us are on the World Wide Web now. So I'm just going to put up here in my very fancy graphics how people can get a hold of you. Maybe you can just spell that out for people so that they can have a look there.
Mary Gale at beliefrepatterning.com. Yeah, 403-620-7231. That's where I'm at.
That's where people can find you. All right. Anything in closing? Really appreciate you being with me here today and sharing some stuff with us. Anything in closing that you want to just make sure that people kind of to leave them with today?
Well, belief repatterning, what can I say? That's the way to go. I believe it works with everybody and with a lot, you know, as you say, it's the and also, so it works with lots of other modalities. Something I've recently learned is really taking a moment to actually take a breath, like a mini meditation. And especially now, there's, yeah, I often need that, so. Yeah.
Opportunity now for everybody just took a great big deep breath. And so if people are wanting to work with you, the kind of clients that you really, I mean, we all work with everyone, but the kind of clients that are really the ones that you are saying, you know, if they're feeling this way, pick up the phone and give me a shout. Who would that?
Yeah, if you're really feeling plagued by that inner voice chatter, definitely. I've worked with, I mean, I've got family that have been dealing with mental health issues. I've worked with quite a while ago with women suffering from postpartum depression. So still very much of a feeling for that. Yeah, I always, you know, for a long time I thought, because I was a homemaker and great interest in human development, and I think, well, every day I was like, what am I going to make for supper, and what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And now I can actually, I've answered the second question.
Help people move through that chatter, and you're doing it great. And dinner will figure itself out.
Yeah. So transformation, I'm your gal.
Perfect. That's how you get a hold of Mary. You can also always go to the Belief Repatterning website, and under team, you'll find Mary there. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the day, all of you who are listening, and know you can and will repattern absolutely anything you choose. Thanks for being with me today, Mary.
Yep. Thank you, Suze. Thanks, everybody.